Welcome everyone to Coin New Yen Review channel. Before we dive into today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more people can discover us. Enjoy the show. I stayed with the Yi family for 24 years just to repay a debt of gratitude. For 24 years, I never let Sister Yang get close to my ears. Sister Yang and I, since we were kids, have always had a loud voice. Whenever Yi Xiao threw a party, I'd let out a wail. If he brought a guy home, I'd wail too. If he didn't study, I'd wail again. The Yi family was thrown into chaos because of me. So we were packed up and sent abroad. His parents coaxed me, saying cry as loud as you want when you're overseas. Make a fuss. So Sister Yao can't go out and act recklessly. Got it. It turns out raising a kid is indeed a hassle. The year I returned to the country, he became the refined young lady everyone praised. Until one day, he pointed at a beautiful woman and said to me, "See her, make her cry and leave. Your sister will reward you." I glanced at the woman under the sunlight and stunning. Even with my eyes closed, she was breathtaking. No way, I refused Yi Xiao. She got anxious. "Aren't you the best at causing trouble? I've been dealing with your antics abroad for so long. Just do me a favor and help me out." I was about to speak when I suddenly saw a boy walking toward the beautiful woman from earlier. She said something that made the boy cry. Yi Xiao slammed the table in anger. That damn Su Wanqing. She's got Z's completely bewitched. And she dared to make him cry. "I'm going to kill her." I glanced at the boy. He was the one Yi Xiao liked. Handsome, radiant, with a natural confidence in his bones. With Yi Xiao's reckless personality, she might actually start a fight. Remembering his parents' instructions, I quickly grabbed her. All right. She's your rival, right? I'll help you drive her away, okay? You make her life miserable, so she won't dare come near Chenzi again. Just like how you used to mess with me. Did Yi Xiao forget? Back when I was crying and making a scene, I was only 8 years old. Now I'm 18, you know. I quietly walked up to Su Wanqing. I have to admit, she was indeed beautiful. No wonder Chenzi didn't care for Yi Xiao. I looked at Chenzi crying his eyes out, and directly linked arms with Su Wanqing. She didn't flinch, nor did she push me away. This handsome guy, Su Wanqing, he already has a boyfriend. Chenzi's face fell. His deer-like eyes looked at Su Wanqing. Say it yourself, admit it. Su Wanqing nodded. This is my boyfriend. Sorry, Chenzi. I can't accept your confession. Fine then. I'll go accept Yi Xiao's confession. Don't regret it later. Watching Chenzi's retreating figure, my heart ached. I let go of Su Wanqing, said no need to thank me, and turned to leave. Yi Xiao had already ditched me to go accidentally run into Chenzi, but I'd only just returned to the country and had no idea how to get home. My heart felt empty. As I stood there lost, Su Wanqing's car pulled up in front of me. She rolled down the window and said, "Thanks for helping me out earlier. Let me give you a ride. You won't find a taxi here." She drove me to the city center. Only then did Su Wanqing realize I was clueless about everything. I shrugged helplessly. "Sorry. I just got back to the country. I don't even remember where I live." "What about your parents' phone number?" "No parents' number either. I only have Yi Xiao's." So Su Wanqing pulled over and dialed a familiar number. She and Yi Xiao had known each other since high school. They were an iron triangle, the iron triangle of a love triangle. Yi Xiao rushed over as soon as he got the call. He slapped Su Wanqing across the face. "Su Wanqing, how dare you mess with my brother? You knew he was your brother, so where were you earlier? Leaving him alone in the middle of nowhere." Yi Xiao's anger instantly fizzled out. He threw a few harsh words at Su Wanqing, then pulled me into his car. Truth is, I'm not actually Yi Xiao's brother. My parents died in an accident to protect Yi Xiao's parents. From then on, I became part of the Yi family. I've always had a loud voice since I was a kid, crying so much the Yi family couldn't find peace. Sir and Madam didn't blame me. They just pitied me, holding me and saying, "Poor child. From now on, we're your parents." Back then, Yi Xiao was at his rebellious age, fearless of everything except my wailing. He begged his parents to send me abroad. But in this family, I liked Yi Xiao the most. I'd only stop crying when I clung to his pant leg. Madam came up with a great idea. Pack me and Yixiao off to study abroad together. 1. To keep Yixiao in check, so he'd have fewer wild ideas. 2. To build a bond between us. I still remember the first time Yixiao brought a boy home. I stood outside the door crying my eyes out, scaring the boy away as Yixiao coaxed him. He even said my little brother's young. He can't see or hear inappropriate things. From then on, Yixiao became a legend in the study abroad circle. A nanny raising a kid. In the car, Yixiao was in a foul mood, you little brat. I could swooped in and won him over, but Su Wanqing's call ruined it. Z says my voice isn't as magnetic as hers. He doesn't like it. I twisted the knife. Actually, you're not as beautiful as her either. He gritted his teeth. Lin, are you trying to kill me? He took a deep breath, then suddenly softened his tone. Little bro, let's talk about something. Su Wanqing's been nice to you. You even managed to get into her car. Keep helping your sister out, okay? I rolled my eyes. Yixiao, are you nuts? Read too many trashy novels. You know our family raised you all these years. Just do me this favor to repay me. His words stabbed deep into my heart. Realizing had gone too far, Yixiao quickly backtracked. That's not what I meant. You know Mom loves you. She said on the phone she wants you to be my husband, but I see you as my little brother. You see me as your sister. There's no way we could be a couple. If you can win over Su Wanqing, it'll definitely put an end to their ideas. I asked and he really said she wants me to be your husband. Both of them were singing your praises on the phone. Don't believe me? Go ask them yourself. My heart tightened. I knew Yixiao saw me as a brother. Yixiao said, don't worry. Your sister has no intentions toward you. You'll always be a son of the Yi family. It'll always be your sister. After thinking for a moment, I agreed, but I added, chasing Su Wanqing doesn't mean she'll like me back. As long as you can make Z's give up on her, your sister will be eternally grateful. I turned my head to look out the window. I lied to Yixiao. I didn't see him as a sister. I liked him. During those years abroad, unlike him, he had parents waiting a home to return to. But as I grew up, I slowly accepted the fact that I'd lost both my parents. Every time I woke up crying in the middle of the night, Yixiao, barefoot, would rush to my bedside, patting my back gently, saying, don't cry, don't cry. Only when I grabbed his hand did I feel like someone still cared about me. I loved having him carry me on his back. Only when I rested on his shoulders did I feel safe. But as I grew older, I became sensible. I'd blush and my heart would race when I saw him. From then on, I knew we needed to keep our distance. He wanted to be my sister, so I'd be his brother. Sir and Madam treated me like their son, so I treated them like my parents. I didn't want to lose this family over a fleeting crush. I started pursuing Su Wanqing. I heard she was hiring an assistant, so I immediately sent in my resume. Thanks to my connection with the Yi family, I was smoothly hired. Su Wanqing was like a robot, all business, not sparing me a single glance otherwise. Whether the first tried to flatter her or played the loyal puppy, I ended up leaning helplessly against her desk, sighing. Su Wanqing, why are you so hard to deal with? She closed her laptop, looked up and asked, Yixiao sent you to mess with me, didn't he? You figured it out already. With his brain, that's the only kind of bad idea he'd come up with. My heart sank. I still tried to salvage it. Then how about going out with me? Otherwise, the Yi family will make me marry Yixiao. Su Wanqing coughed twice. I won't go out with you, but I can pretend with you. I clapped my hands. Pretending is exactly what I need. Su Wanqing's tie was a bit crooked. To thank her for helping out, I wanted to fix it for her. I was standing taller than her, and as I leaned down, Su Wanqing suddenly turned her head away, her ears visibly reddening. I smirked. Su, you didn't think I was going to kiss you, did you? I thought since you lived abroad so long, you'd be more open. I actually kissed her on the cheek. Abroad, it's just a normal courtesy. With a bang, Yixiao and Chenzi burst through the door. Our eyes met, and I was the first to say hey. Yixiao sized us up, giving me a satisfied wink. A sour feeling rose in my chest. He put his arm around Chen Zi and said to Su Wanqing, Su Wanqing, Ziz is my boyfriend now. Su Wanqing nodded Congratulations. Chen Zi couldn't stand her indifference. He pointed at me and said, Su Wanqing, how am I not better than him? There's no comparison. I like him. He's the best. A stray picked up by the Yi family. How can he compare to me, the only son of the Chen family? Chen Zi came from a good background. In his whole life except with Su Wanqing, had never faced a setback. Yi Xiao quietly let go of Chen Zi's shoulder. He whispered, Ziz, you can't talk about Lin Yu like that. He's my brother, not some stray. Chen Zi shot him a glare, then walked toward me. Lin Yu, Su Wanqing, Yi Xiao and I are childhood friends. You wouldn't understand our bond. I blinked and said I understand. The famous love triangle, right? He was so mad he raised his bag, as if to hit me. Su Wanqing quickly pushed him away. Chen Zi, this is a company. If you want to make a scene, do it somewhere else. Chen Zi's eyes reddened, and he stormed out, slamming the door. Yi Xiao patted my shoulder to comfort me. Ziz's just got a rich kid's temper. Don't take his words to heart, okay? Your sister will make it up to you. Got it? Yi Xiao hurriedly chased after Chen Zi. When I got home, Yi Xiao was sitting on the couch, drunk out of his mind. Madam couldn't calm him down. Seeing me, she complained, baby, help me talk some sense into him. He's acting like a jerk again. It's fine, Auntie, I'm here. You go rest upstairs. After she left, Yi Xiao kept crying, Ziz, he wants to break up with me. I patted his face. All right. Can you go upstairs? He suddenly grabbed my waist, mistaking me for Chen Ziz. Lin Yu is my brother, don't hate him. What if I really do hate him? Yi Xiao paused, then said, it's fine. He'll get married eventually. My heart felt like it was being sliced. Yi Xiao, this is the only family I have. Don't be too cruel. The next day at work, Su Wanqing was surprised to see me. I thought you wouldn't show up. Didn't you already achieve your goal? I flashed my work badge. Su, I genuinely want to learn from you. Su Wanqing's smile was captivating. You're not quite like what they say. The Yi family's precious gem, held in their hands for fear of dropping, cherished in their mouths for fear of melting. Loves to cry, loves to make a fuss for no reason. During those years abroad, you practically turned Yi Xiao into a nun. They're not wrong. So Su, bear with me. Su Wanqing started teaching me projects. Hansen should set traps for me, lay pitfalls, and after I fell for them, should teach me how to cut my losses. She was undeniably capable, worthy of being the heir raised by the Su family. In the blink of an eye, a month passed. Yi Xiao hadn't contacted me once. Instead, Madam often said Yi Xiao was never home. Who knows where he was fooling around? But I had already grown up. It's no longer the age where crying or making a fuss can keep Yi Xiao by my side. Maybe I was working too hard, but I fainted at my desk. When I opened my eyes, I was in the hospital. Yi Xiao sat beside me, his face dark. I was helped to sit up. Yi Xiao's expression softened a bit. He asked, did your dizziness act up? Did Su Wanqing push you too hard? No. Does Su Wanqing know I'm sick? I haven't even asked for leave yet. He hadn't been gone long. I picked up an apple from the table, wanting to eat. Yi Xiao snatched it from my hand. He grabbed a knife and started peeling it. His tone was scolding. Do you even know how to use a knife? And you dare to mess around? The fruit you ate as a kid, which one wasn't peeled by me? A wave of bitterness surged in my heart. I grabbed the apple back and bit into it. Hey, slow down, sis. Don't do stuff like this anymore. I rarely called Yi Xiao sis. He froze at the word, then nodded. Right. In with Ziz now. Head, get jealous. You don't know how jealous he can get. He gave an embarrassed smile. Suddenly remembering something, he hurriedly asked, how's it going with Su Wanqing? Stop chasing her and come home. Home? I looked up at Yi Xiao and said, I'm already with Su Wanqing. Sorry. Su Wanqing's just using me for a bit. The words had barely left my mouth when Yi Xiao stood up. You're with her? Really, together? How far have you gone? She hasn't tried anything with you, has she? That's my business. Yi Xiao said, no, it's not like that. You already have someone you like, don't you? My body stiffened. I was terrified he'd speak the truth. Last Christmas, that note you put in the stocking. I secretly read it. You wrote this year, I won't like him anymore. You already had someone you liked. That person isn't Su Wanqing, is it? Amid my shock, I also thought Yi Xiao was shameless. He actually went through my Christmas stocking. Yi Xiao's phone suddenly rang. It was a call from Chen Zi. His face immediately turned anxious. He told me, Ziz suddenly got a stomachache. I need to check on him. The nurse about to change my fur looked up and said to Yi Xiao, there needs to be a family member with the patient. His basic information hasn't even been filled out. If there's a drug allergy, who's responsible? Yi Xiao frantic said, it'll just be gone a bit. It'll come right back. Before I could finish, he grabbed his jacket and ran. The nurse couldn't help but gripe. Your girlfriend is way too cold-blooded. Hey's not my girlfriend. Hey's just my sister. Yi Xiao didn't come back until evening. Madam arrived. She was furious Yi Xiao left me alone here. I said casually, it's no big deal usually. I can go back to work tomorrow. Her eyes held some pity. She held my hand and said, sweetie, if you're too tired, just say so. I'll arrange for you to work at our company. Why slave away out there? I want to learn more from Su Wanqing. She touched my face. Xiaoyao brought home a boy from the Chen family, but I don't like him. I only like you. I leaned into her embrace, carefully asking Auntie, can I just be your son? She smiled, you've always been my son, my sweet baby. That day Yi Xiao came to my room, hesitating and not saying a word. I put down the files in my hand and asked directly, what do you want? I owe you an apology. When you were sick, I shouldn't have left you alone. It's fine, Andy came to see me later. The more nonchalant I was, the more anxious Yi Xiao became. You, if you want to throw a fit, just do it, okay? I'm afraid you'll hold a grudge against Ziz. So in his eyes, I was that petty. He added, actually Ziz's always been bothered by you. After all, we're not blood related. I laughed and asked, what are you trying to say? Can you move out for a while? I'll buy you the best place in the city center. Come back after Ziz and I get married. I know it's unfair to you, but I'm begging you, just compromise this one time, okay? Yi Xiao's few words pierced my heart 1,000 times. I'd been suppressing my feelings just to stay in this family, but now he wanted to kick me out. Mom and Dad love you. If they knew I was making you move out, they'd never forgive me. Just lie and say you wanted to live on your own. I sighed. Yi Xiao, you've really thought of everything. He grinned foolishly. When you love someone, you clear all obstacles for them. So I was just a stumbling block. I agreed to move to another place. It was big and desolate. I started working overtime, treating the company like home. The busier I was, the less I thought about Yi Xiao. Su Wanqing finally couldn't help but ask Lin Yu, why are you so out of it? My hand tightened on the files. I sincerely apologized. Sorry, Su. You'll get it together soon. I don't need your apology. From today on, you leave when I leave. No overtime. I hitched a ride back with Su Wanqing. She dropped me off at my place, pointing in another direction. That's where my real home is now. With a sudden break, I nearly died of fright. Su Wanqing asked, shocked. They kicked you out? I shook my head. No. I wanted to live closer to the company. Nonsense. I looked at Su Wanqing stunned. That day Su Wanqing walked me to the elevator, staring at me deeply until the doors closed. Yi Xiao invited me to a club. When I arrived, I realized it was Chen Zi using his phone to lure me. He walked over, hands on my shoulders, saying, look, this is the Yi family's young master you wanted to see. If there's nothing else, I'm leaving. Chen Zi yanked my clothes, forcing me into a seat. People around tried to mediate. Little brother, don't go. Stay and have fun with us. That Yi Xiao girl, with such a handsome brother. Why not bring him out for us to see? Yeah, we haven't met the one who can handle Yi Xiao. Even young Master Chen was silenced. Chen Zi's face looked off. His wine glass slammed onto the table. He asked me, Lin Yu, why aren't you making a scene? I shrugged. What's it to you? You're so ungrateful, aiming to marry into the Yi family. Your parents sure had some tricks, dying to get you into a rich family. Yi Xiao treats you like a brother, so you went after Su Wanqing. You're even more cunning than your parents. The room fell silent. No one but Chen Zi would dare offend the Yi family. I sneered Chen Zi. You don't think men and women together can only be romantic, do you? Are you that old-fashioned? And clean up your mouth before you step outside. If you slander my parents again, I won't let it slide. He stood up. Furious, I don't care what you say. Lin Yu Su Wanqing is mine. You better stay away from her. Is that so then? What's going on with you and Yi Xiao? His one-sided crush, or are you toteming? What did you say? This motherless, fatherless guy. Chenzi, unable to contain himself, raised his hand to slap me. I'd fought with foreigners abroad. I caught his hand with one of mine, and with the other splashed a glass of wine in his face. When Yi Xiao walked in, he saw this exact scene. Chenzi cornered by me, looking pathetic. Yi Xiao pushed me. Lin Yu, what are you doing? I stumbled, my head hitting the wall with a thud. It hurt and I think it bled. Chenzi threw himself into Yi Xiao's arms crying. Someone came to help me up. Yi Xiao snapped, why bother with him? He's been spoiled rotten since he was a kid, full of bad habits. The look in his eyes was filled with anger and confusion. I knew you'd hold a grudge against him, but you're worse than I imagined. Chenzi clung to his sleeve, whimpering in pain. Yi Xiao held him and rushed off. The private room emptied out quickly. I sat there for a long time. My heart pieced together, then shattered again. When my phone rang, I answered without looking. I knew it wouldn't be Yi Xiao. Lin Yu, I need you to handle a document. It'll pay overtime. When I spoke, I realized I was choking up. Taking a few deep breaths, I said to Su Wanqing, Su, I'm swamped right now. A tear might fall in onto my phone. Lin Yu, where are you? I hung up. Maybe Yi Xiao really had spoiled me. When he was harsh or cruel, it hurt me to the core. Back when I was learning to drive, I failed the test over and over. Yi Xiao said, if you can't pass, forget it. Worst case, it'll be your driver for life. Now, I was standing in the cold wind, waiting for a rideshare to pick me up. Relying too much on one person is never good. A black car pulled up in front of me. I gave the last digits of my phone number, looked up, and saw the driver was Su Wanqing. She didn't ask anything the whole way, until we got out. She stopped me. Lin Yu, I have an opportunity abroad. Want to consider it? I froze, amazed that Su Wanqing saw through everything. She continued, you could work for the Yi family, of course, but don't you want to aim higher? I have a branch company abroad. Deputy Su has been transferred to VP there. You could go as general manager. I didn't give Su Wanqing an answer. Late at night, Madam came over. She said Yi Xiao wasn't coming home. Old mister, he had gone abroad again. She was lonely by herself. We slept in the same bed. She turned to me and asked, sweetie, you've got something on your mind, don't you? I pursed my lips, finally speaking up. Auntie, what should my future look like? She gave a soft smile. I know what you're thinking, child. You don't owe the Yi family anything. The Yi family owes you a lifetime. How you want to grow up, what kind of person you want to be will support you. But I've always felt regret that you've never called me mom. She looked at me expectantly. I threw myself into her arms and called out, Mom, I decided to go abroad. Okay, Mom supports you. Your flight's booked for next Monday. Yi Xiao came back once by chance, saw me packing my bags. He scratched his head, cautiously asking, going on a trip. Where to? I stopped and said, sis, I'm going abroad to make something of myself. What do you mean? I scolded you a couple times and now you're leaving the country. He grinned playfully, but the smile slowly faded from his face. That day I asked around, it was Ziz's fault. I'm sorry, sis was too impulsive. I smiled and said nothing. He kept rambling. That day I was worried about you. I rushed back right away, but you were already gone. I closed my suitcase. Everything was packed. I finally answered him, Yi Xiao, how long did you listen outside the door that day? His face went pale as he looked at me. I opened my hand, revealing a note inside. It read, this year I won't like him anymore. And below it, This year, I won't like Yi Xiao anymore. You saw it all, didn't you? Why force me like this? He wanted me to chase Su Wanqing. And it wasn't just because of Chen Zi, was it? His fists clenched. Unable to speak, I walked up to him, opening my arms if I'm lucky. I might make it big abroad. One last hug. Sis, his eyes lifted, tears falling. I didn't mean to force you to leave because of Z's. He's just too insecure. If you don't leave, his heart won't be at ease. They say Yi Xiao is careless, but when it comes to loving Chen Zi, he's not sloppy at all. I fell into his embrace, hugging Yi Xiao. Do you remember when I was brought back, dirty like a little puppy, in -10-degree weather? You wrapped me in a blanket and said, don't be afraid. From now on you have a home. I'm your sister. Hot tears soaked into my collar. Yi Xiao said, when I marry Ziz, it'll bring you back. I can't bear you staying abroad forever. No need, my home is here forever. When I miss mom and dad, I'll come back myself. When the flight took off, Yi Xiao didn't show up. But before boarding, mom secretly pointed to a corner. Yi Xiao was hiding behind a pillar, raising his hand as if wiping tears. That Christmas I had another wish. I hoped Yi Xiao would be happy forever. That year Jesus was truly magical. Every one of my wishes came true. A week later, I reported to the new company. The CEO spun around in the chair, smiling and greeting me. Lin, you have been waiting for you. Su Wanqing, I was stunned. She formally extended her hand. President Lin, here's to us thriving here. I smiled back at her, honored. I hadn't realized how big Su Wanqing's ambitions were, or how strong her abilities. Her business empire was like a monarch's, shaking the American scene. All the media reported on this rising star, including the handsome Chinese man by her side. Su Wanqing took me to taste the strongest liquor, drive the wildest cars. That's when I realized she was far more reckless than Yi Xiao. A woman who could seal a deal with a flick of her finger was now in my kitchen washing her hands to make soup. I was on the phone with Mom. Did you see the news? Yeah, I'm doing great here. I'll definitely come back for the new year. I miss you all so much. After the call, Su Wanqing had already served the soup. I quietly watched her for a long time. She asked, uncomfortable, why are you looking at me like that? I find it amazing. A domineering female CEO washing her hands for me, making soup. Her ears turned red. I teased, Miss Su, the media says you're the wildest Chinese youth, yet your ears turn red so easily. You know I like you, and you still treat me like this. Su Wanqing pinned me to the couch, her throat bobbing. Let's be together. I laughed and explained we're great business partners, but not necessarily great lovers. She sighed helplessly. I get it. This is your better as friends than lovers line, right? Su Wanqing, this Christmas I'll make a wish for you. What? I didn't answer. Instead, pushing her away to go to the table, I got another call. It was Yi Xiao. Lin, you Merry Christmas. I replied faintly. You too, sis. Su Wanqing suddenly raised her voice. You come eat. Yi Xiao asked anxiously. Are you with Su Wanqing? Yeah, don't worry. I'm fine. I won't go back. When you and Chen Zi get married, send me an invitation. When mom called me for help, she was sobbing uncontrollably. Sweetie, come back and check on Xiao. She's been off since Christmas. Mom wouldn't ask lightly. I took leave from Su Wanqing to go home. When the plane landed, mom and dad picked me up. Mom looked much older. Your sister's been outrageous, drinking and smashing things every day, locking herself in her room, not saying a word. Other than you, mom can't find anyone to talk to her. I choked up thinking I wouldn't sway her. When I got home, Yi Xiao's door was locked tight. I dug a key out from a flower pot on the first floor. Everyone stared in shock. I remembered as a kid, Yi Xiao said he'd keep a spare key for me. Only I could open his room. I pushed the door open. A stench of alcohol hit me. I found him in a pile of trash. Yi Xiao, I called. He swatted my hand away. Get the hell out. He snapped, his eyes open, seeing me in them. You're back, he fumbled, flustered. Wait. I'll clean up, go wait in your room. I nodded and went to my room. Nothing had changed. After over half an hour, Yi Xiao finally appeared looking human. He pointed under my bed. You used to hide snacks, they're so picky, only liking one brand. I kept stocking them for you. You can eat them whenever you come back. You love wearing trendy clothes. Check the closet. I bought all the new styles these years. I've been waiting for you to come back. He smiled as he spoke, tears in his eyes. I choked, sis. You mom and dad raised me so well. Yi Xiao said I broke up with Chen Zi. Because of you my heart jolted. After you left this place felt empty. Yi Xiao pointed to his heart. I pointed to mine and said, but sis, mine is full, with only Su Wanqing. Sorry Su Wanqing used you one last time. The spring festival was coming soon. Mom suggested I stay, spend the new year before leaving. I thought my days abroad were carefree, but I had no sense of belonging. People are meant to return to their roots. I finally understood that now. I asked Su Wanqing for a long leave. She approved it without hesitation. One day, I really craved a cake from that shop in the west of the city. Yi Xiao immediately said I'll drive you there. I didn't tell him that after leaving him, I got my driver's license but lost interest. I told Yi Xiao forget it. I don't want it anymore. His hand froze with the keys, but he quietly left until Su Wanqing called. I realized why she approved my leave so easily. You am back in the country. Come pick me up. You're joking, how could I not pick up the boss? I grabbed the car keys and headed to the airport. Su Wanqing was in a trench coat, looking striking. I waved at her. Su Wanqing over here, she walked over. I handed her a scarf I'd prepared. I asked, the capital's cold, isn't it? She took the scarf from my hand and tied it around my neck. America's colder, because you're not there. What a charming, dangerous woman. Su Wanqing could handle anyone, old or young, making Mom beam with joy. Mom laughed and sighed. If only our Xiao was as sensible as you. Su Wanqing asked, I've been here so long and haven't seen Yi Xiao. Where is he? Talk about touching a sore spot. At that moment, Yi Xiao pushed the door open. Seeing a cozy family scene, Su Wanqing Yi Xiao gritted his teeth. He walked over, holding a cake. Su Wanqing smiled, long time no see, sister. You just picked me up from the airport. Yi Xiao's body stiffened, fists clenching. He carefully took out the cake, placing it in front of me. The cherry-shaped cake was adorable. When he spoke, his voice trembled. You said you didn't want to go, but you went to pick her up. You said you wanted cake. Do you know how happy that made me? I drove 3 hours and queued to buy it for you. Lin, you playing me? Between us it's unclear who's been toying with who. I only said thanks, sis. Su Wanqing's parents were abroad, and Mom couldn't bear her going home alone for the new year, so she stayed with us. Yi Xiao texted me, what did you wish for this Christmas? Every year before, he was my Santa Claus. I told him, this year I wished for Su Wanqing's safety. He went silent and didn't reply. My actual words were, I hope Su Wanqing stays safe and takes me to make big money every day. The snow outside fell heavily. I vaguely saw someone standing under my window. He looked up and grinned. You caught me. Su Wanqing in the snow drew a Christmas tree for me and hung 2 lanterns on it. So quirky and charming. It made me laugh. Finally, she called me Yu. My Christmas and New Year's wish is that all your wishes come true. Snow landed on her eyelashes, fluttering, tugging at my heart. I grabbed a blanket and rushed downstairs. Su Wanqing opened her arms. Hug me quick, or I'll freeze to death. Over a decade ago in a winter like this, Yi Xiao held me tightly here. I stepped forward, wrapping Su Wanqing in the blanket. Before I could react, her lips pressed down on mine. My heart pounded like thunder. The world around us silent. It was too cold outside. I pulled Su Wanqing back inside. Yi Xiao, eyes bloodshot, swung a fist at Su Wanqing. You dare touch her. My little brother, if cherished all these years, you dare touch. Su Wanqing caught the punch steadily, kicking at Yi Xiao's leg. You cherished him when you drove him out and wronged him. Did you think to cherish him then? I stepped out from behind Su Wanqing, looking into Yi Xiao's red eyes. Sis, while you were fighting for Chen Zi here, I was handling everything alone. While you were drunk and broken for him, I was probably pulling all-nighters on proposals. I'm not the little boy you protected anymore. I've grown up. Yi Xiao's tears hit the floor, his tall frame trembling. Yu, if we could go back to the start. He covered his eyes, tears slipping through his fingers. He corrected himself, forget it. There's no if. The day I returned to America, Yi Xiao personally drove me to the airport. He clumsily carried my bags and luggage. I smiled, sis. I'll handle it myself. He watched me and Su Wanqing walk hand in hand to the airport. Yu called from behind, flashing a bitter smile, be happy. You two. Later, Yi Xiao settled down, joining the family company, throwing himself into work. I saw entertainment news in America, speculating that Yi Xiao had an unrequited love because he always wore a ring engraved with Yu. When the rumor spread, Yi Xiao put the ring away. The news never mentioned a Yi family foster son named Linyu. 3 years later, Su Wanqing and I returned for our wedding. Mom and Dad were sobbing at the ceremony. They urged me to be happy. Yi Xiao never showed up. The day before the wedding, he sent me a package. Inside was a handwritten congratulatory card, with a note at the end. Regret I couldn't witness your wedding. At the bottom of the package was a card, with a note saying, but my red envelope is definitely the biggest. The second year after the wedding, I had a son. Mom held the baby, saying over and over, his eyes are like Yuya's. So beautiful. Yi Xiao arrived late. The flamboyance in his eyes had faded, replaced with a touch of sharpness. Seeing the child, he froze, pulling a longevity lock from his pocket. He joked, I thought on the way here, if my nephew looks like his dad, I'd just give a red envelope and call it a day, but if he looks like his mom, he gets this. I looked at Su Wanqing, who gave a knowing smile. Later, Su Wanqing and I decided to return to develop in China, returning to one's roots. That's always been my thought. We're all living well in our own ways. This is probably the best ending. You have your peaceful years. I have my steady reality. Occasionally thinking back, my heart holds only warmth. No more ripples,